process, as we've been talking about, until the Attorney General's opinion is ready. I believe that is the most prudent thing for us to do right now. So with that, I hope that gives you some explanation. I'm not sure if it gives you clarity, but it gives you explanation of where I stand as the governor of the great state of West Virginia, the appreciation that Gail and I have for all the support, and how we as a state are still working and moving forward together. And there's nothing that anyone can be more honored and more humble than I am with that support. Also, your vote belongs to you. And I believe you should have the right to exercise that vote as quickly as possible. It is such an importance. And with that, there's processes that will be unveiled. There's a couple different avenues that might be taken. But I think until the Attorney General renders his opinion, which I'm hopefully will come very, very quickly, then we will make a decision in the process. I will speak to the legislative leaders. So with that, I'll take a few questions if the press or anybody that might have it. We'll start with the press now.
When can we expect the Attorney General's opinion?
I'm very hopeful that it'll be as quickly as possible, which when I'm saying quickly, by no later than the first of next week or sooner.
Now, if he says, you know, this Tennant interpreted the law correctly, will you ask for a special session?
I would talk to the legislators at that time, the leaders, and see if they believe that clarity should be. I know there's an awful lot of public opinion, public sentiment, that an election sooner than later. I gave you my personal opinion of 2.5 years. If there's enough people in the legislative process and the people in West Virginia that believe, they'll be contacting their legislators, and the legislative leaders will talk to them. And as you know, we have a special session coming up, and that's an option that we have. That's one of the options of the process that we can go down in vehicles.
Are you feeling any pressure from Washington to have the seat filled for voting purposes
Not
there?
really. They've been so kind. Of course, as you know, I've been talking to the White House. I've been talking to all our senators, and most importantly, talking to our Senator Jay Rockefeller. And it's important. This is an important time in America. Every decision that's being made is an important decision that affects everybody's lives. Wherever you may be, it's affecting your lives in these very, very important decisions. So we understand that. But also there's a process that I think they understand and respect in West Virginia. And to just hastily try to do something because of the time sensitive, and to try to fill a giant shoes, as Robert C. Byrd, who was a stickler for the Constitution, and really demand that things being done and done right, would not be, I think, a good scheme for him. I don't think he does.
Governor, it's a lot of ifs here.
There's a lot of ifs.
But if the Attorney General comes back and clarifies it and says there should be a special election, and if there is a special election, would you then file a run for the seat?
I would highly consider that. I truly would. I've always wanted to put myself in a position to help the people in West Virginia. I do understand what's at stake here. I do understand the urgency of decisions that are being made that affect our state. I think everyone knows. I think the White House on down knows how I feel about what we have done and contributed to the state of West Virginia, the energy that we produce, that we are very cognizant of that we believe that we can move this country forward and give it the dependable, reliable, affordable energy while we transform ourselves. I believe I can bring a lot of that debate to the forefront and have a respectful dialogue. I keep using the word respectful because I see the toxic atmosphere that we're dealing with, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think the American people like the toxic atmosphere that's in Washington. I think there has to be civility brought back to it. Now, with that being said, I would watch me very carefully, and I would be very interested in seeing if that opportunity would arise.
Governor, if the Attorney General responds saying that you must make an appointment for the interim, do you have someone in mind for that?
I absolutely do. I've had quite a few.
Are you saying that appointing yourself is not an option under those terms?
That is not an option.
You have one person in mind, or
I
several?
have several people, but just high caliber. There's been a lot of names mentioned, and these are all high-quality individuals with tremendous ability. Everyone that you've heard mentioned.
AFL-CIO, I think the whole association came out and said that you should appoint yourself, as you said, you really do know the issues. Do you feel like it would be a hindrance to have sort of a person in there for an unknown period of time, or why not go ahead and get the work started?
I think basically the work will be started. If I make an appointment, whether it's for a short period of time or a longer period of time, I can assure you the person I appoint, I want to make sure that someone that understands the needs of working people, the needs of businesses to be able to survive and compete in a very competitive atmosphere. I need to make sure, and I will make very much sure, that that person will be able to fulfill the needs of West Virginians. I can assure you that.
When you make this appointment, what specifically are you looking for? Because you're going to have to appoint someone at some point. Where specifically are you looking for?
Well,
And
basically,
then,
I think once we see the opinion of the Attorney General, it tells us maybe the time frame that we might be looking at. And that a lot will make a determination on how I go.
Just following up on that, what sort of discuss about some of these votes that are coming up. For example, you appoint somebody who supports the Gary's cap and trade bill.
No.
No. Okay. That's fine.
Now, do I support someone who respectfully sit down and work what I believe is a much better option
Yeah.
that helps this country and helps this state? Absolutely. You're surprised about such a short answer, weren't you?
Last week, your office said that you concur and were in agreement with the Secretary of State's opinion. It was my understanding that your lawyers have reviewed it. What has changed since then?
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Basically, my attorneys, the people who advise me, working with them, understanding where the Secretary of State has interpreted and looked at case law, and used in his form of opinion, I've always supported the Chief Election Officer. With that being said, I think even the Chief Election Officer said that we should have had the opinion of the Chief Legal Officer of the state of West Virginia, which I also do. And out of respect and out of courtesy, that needs to be done. I think we all agree. I think we both agree on that. So with that, we'll be awaiting anxiously the Attorney General's opinion.
couple more questions.
Anybody? You give us any hints as to who's on your list? People on your list?
You mentioned most of them.
Huh?
You all had most of them.
Okay.
So we're on the right track.
Yeah, you're pretty much. You're in good shape. Yeah, there's. Yeah,
Is
it's just-
Gail one of your options?
She'd be a wonderful option, wouldn't she? We work very well as a team. I think we'll remain as a team. We work very well as a team. Let me just say, and I mean this, thank you. Thank you for the support. And I think us staying together, as long and as strong as we have, is very well for our state. Whatever the future brings, I think that there are a lot of capable people, a lot of people with tremendous passion and love of our state that will be able to continue, all of us working together to move us forward. I just believe that we've just begun. I really believe that. I think there's so many bright opportunities for our state, whether it be our youngest that are transitioning their lives, and all of us who have to transition our lives, and basically moving this country forward. I want to say this. When people ask me, about different processes and where you stand, and I often think of this. I'm an American first. I'm a West Virginian second. I'm a Democrat third. You may be a Republican. I would hope you'd be American first, West Virginia second, and a Republican. We've got to put everything in proper perspective. And sometimes we've lost sight of that. We really have. And we get so embattled, and we get so competitive, that we lose sight of what the objective of changing and transforming and creating a better country and a better union, if you will, and a better state for our children and generations to come. And I think that's what we're, the decisions. And when every time I think of I think of Senator Robert C. Byrd, the decisions he made and how he came about making those decisions. They might not always have been popular, but I guarantee you there was a thought process, and there was a defending of the Constitution and the thought of America as a nation and the union that we are before anything else. And I would hope we can continue that in his honor. Thank you.